what if I told you that the Raiders have already scouted their next mobile QB all the way back in September? We know Tom Brady seems done. It seems like the age is getting to him.
In my heart of hearts, I really think that'll be the last time we saw Tom Brady play on a football field. I think that was it. It was a great run.
And it really does look like Tom Brady could retire. So the Raiders are gonna have to look elsewhere for their next quarterback. And fans want the Raiders to trade for Lamar Jackson, to trade for Aaron Rodgers. The Raiders are gonna have over $60 million in cap after releasing Derek Carr. But if you make this move, you're gonna have to pay them so much money. They're gonna eat up all of your cap, and you're gonna have to give away some draft picks. We know Jimmy Garoppolo could be an option, but he is plagued with tons of injury problems year after year. And a lot of people have written off the idea that Josh McDaniels could roll with a mobile quarterback just because he typically rolls with pocket passers like Tom Brady and Mac Jones. But Josh McDaniels does have some experience with Cam Newton in 2020, and they gelled quickly and were able to do amazing things in a short amount of time. Josh Allen was the number 7 overall pick in the 2018 draft, and right now, Josh McDaniels has the number 7 overall pick in the 2023 draft. So why would he not go ahead and draft the next Josh Allen, who his team has already scouted? Are you depressed like me because your favorite team is not going to be in the playoffs this year? Are you heartbroken, finding it difficult to even be emotionally invested in the postseason? I personally find it difficult to care about any other team than my favorite team in Vegas. But thankfully, we have partnered with DraftKings Sportsbook to make the playoffs starting January 14th more interesting for me and you. This offer for new customers is completely insane. The only thing you new customers need to do is when you download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, sign up and use my promo code WiFiWillie. And then when you bet $5, just $5 on any playoff game, you get an additional $200 in bonus bets. This is absolutely insane. With this $200, you can do all kinds of different bets, whether it be in-game bets, parlays. I once hit a 5-game parlay, bet $1, and I made 67 bucks. The link to sign up to DraftKings Sportsbook is in the pinned comment below and in the description. Make sure you use this promo code WiFiWillie to get $200 in extra bonus bets. When Josh McDaniels was in New England with Cam Newton, they were able to put together some great games despite running on a short amount of time. Josh McDaniels pretty much ran the same New England offense, but implemented some QB runs, doing some very interesting things in the red zone, having your blocking running back over here at the top, allowing Cam Newton to be able to run in easily for a touchdown. They were able to put together some great games, beating the Ravens and Lamar Jackson, nearly beating the Bills and Josh Allen, and also nearly defeating Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. And that was a game in which Cam Newton threw for 397 yards. It was actually quite amazing. And in that same Seahawks game, he ran for 2 touchdowns. Cam Newton would eventually get sick and sort of decline at the latter part of the season. Plus, the Patriots would go on to draft Mac Jones, and Mac Jones eventually won the starting job. And apparently, it was not Josh McDaniels' decision as to who won that starting job. And many people believe that Josh McDaniels really did enjoy working with Cam Newton. And with that experience, McDaniels saw what he could do with a dual threat QB. And this is why when the Raiders went on to face the Tennessee Titans this year in 2022, the Raiders sent general manager Dave Ziegler and some scouts to check out the Tennessee versus Florida Gators game. And all eyes were on Florida Gators quarterback Anthony Richardson, who is projected to go top 10 in the 2023 draft. He is the prospect this year that has that high ceiling, that Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson ceiling, but is a complete wild card as he has only started 1 full season in college football. And it was not only the Raiders who visited this game, but also the Buccaneers, Giants, and Commanders. However, these people are drafting much later than the Raiders this year. Scouts are also looking at Tennessee quarterback Hendon Hooker, but he has since torn his ACL. So the Raiders general manager watched this game in person, and he holds the draft pick to possibly select Anthony Richardson, as it is likely that CJ Stroud, Bryce Bryce Young and Levis will be off the board by the time the Raiders draft at the 7th overall pick. And what he saw during this game was a freakish quarterback who almost never gets sacked with the first tackle. Anthony Richardson has an insane ability to avoid pressure, and he has a huge arm, could make every single deep throw. The only problem with him is his accuracy. There are some times when he is throwing a little too high, throwing a little too low. He does miss some wide open receivers, but there are some times when he looks absolutely unstoppable, and most of the time it is when he is running with the football. But there are flashes when he does appear like an accurate passer, especially when throwing on the run. And Josh McDaniels claimed when he was in Denver that he could turn a high school QB into an all-pro. So why would he not try this project, Anthony Richardson, who could turn into something really special, mainly because his athleticism and his size. He's currently 6'4" and 230 pounds, which is why he is able to take some hits, which is why he is even able to lower the shoulder on some guys at some times. This is very similar to Cam Newton, who is also a very big body quarterback. And Josh Allen was seen as a project in the same way, drafted also with the number 7 overall pick in 2018. Josh Allen did not do too much in the passing game in the first year of his career. He did suffer from injuries, but he really did not take off as a passer until a few years down the road, especially when he got Stephon Diggs, and Anthony Richardson would be rolling with Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, and Josh Jacobs right away. But you can also choose to groom this guy, have a bridge quarterback in the meantime. And it would be so ironic if Josh McDaniels did draft Anthony Richardson, because in 2010, when he was with the Denver Broncos, he traded up in the high first round to the 25th overall pick to draft Tim Tebow, a mobile quarterback who is also from the Florida Gators. And Josh McDaniels would get fired during that 2010 season, so he really did not get to work with Tim Tebow long term. Who knows what could have happened? But even if the Raiders do decide to get Tom Brady, or they do decide to get Jimmy Garoppolo, they are still going to likely interview and talk to Anthony Richardson and see what this guy is all about. Josh McDaniels has said before that rookies tend to have more time to learn the system.
Even the rookies that get drafted, they get, information prior to the end of the spring.
And maybe they'll interview this guy and come to the conclusion that he can get started right away. And if Tom Brady does want to go to the Raiders, maybe they can have him come back with the understanding that they are going to use their first round pick on a quarterback, and perhaps he'll accept that at his old age. The Raiders could also elect to use Jarrett Stidham as a bridge quarterback as well. But general manager Dave Ziegler and head coach Josh McDaniels claim that Mark Davis hired them to build long-term success, and drafting their next quarterback is the way they can build long-term success, because then they could use that cap on other places and other weaknesses on this team, mainly the defense. And if you end up finding a serviceable QB on a rookie contract, it really is a bargain, and it really helps you compete. And with somebody like Anthony Richardson, not only would they have a great quarterback on a cheap contract, but they would also have possibly the most athletic quarterback in the entire division compared to Mahomes, compared to Justin Herbert, compared to Russell Wilson. Anthony Richardson is something that does not come around that much often, and he could also be the biggest bust and biggest gamble ever, because he could turn out to be a one-hit wonder who's really better at running with the football than throwing it. But if Josh McDaniels talks to this guy and he thinks he could turn him into something special, he could really set this franchise up for long-term success. Let me know what you want the Raiders to do at the quarterback position this year. Like this video if you have not yet, and subscribe to this channel for more Raiders content. My name is WiFiWillie. Peace out, and I hope you have a good one.